You clicked on this video to see a starting running back tier list, and that's exactly what you're going to get right after.
I gave you fair warning, beware. Smack him in the toward the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Smack him in the mouth. I gave you fair warning, beware. Smack him in the mouth.
What is up, everyone? I am Mike, and I am on the mic of the most electrifying sports YouTube channel and sports network in the game today. We're about to hop into the tier list and make the tier list for all of the starting running backs in the league right now. But first, help me run over the algorithm just like some of these running backs do to defenders every single weekend by liking this video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you can be here next time I make a tier list. Without further ado, let's get into said tier list. So here we go. I got the tier list pulled up for everybody. This tier list may be slightly out of date. It's the one that was available on the tier list website, so don't sue me if things are a little bit messed up. I already see Frank Gore down there, who is not in the league. Didn't he just get beat up by Darren Williams or something? Anyways, here are our tiers. Elite. These are the running backs that are absolutely carrying their team. The next tier is great, but not quite elite. They're great running backs, but they don't necessarily carry their team by themselves like some of these running backs do. Potential to be elite. This isn't good. This isn't bad. These are just guys that I think can explode and be elite running backs in the league one day. Average, just average running backs. Those guys right outside the top 10. The fringe starter tier is going to be for those running backs that may not necessarily should be starters in the NFL, but they are just because the job is open. And then just for depth, these are guys who I really do believe should be backups or are backups in the NFL already by now. So let's get this thing going first with Adrian Peterson. All day, love Adrian Peterson. One of my favorite players ever in his prime, but at this point in his career, he is just for depth. Similar feelings towards Le'Veon Bell here, who's listed as the Chiefs running back, not the Chiefs running back anymore. I don't think he's even in the league anymore. He has some time in Baltimore, but he's also just for depth in my opinion. Chris Carson, this one's interesting because when healthy, I think Chris Carson has that chance to be in this great, not elite tier, but the best ability is availability, right? I usually hate that phrase, but in this situation, it really makes sense for Chris Carson to be put in the average tier. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. This one's hard to rank because Clyde Edwards-Hilaire has had an interesting career to start so far, and he's in a place where he doesn't get that many carries, that many opportunities as a running back to show out. I'm going to put him in average for now. I don't think he has potential to be elite. I do not think that he is great yet. So this is kind of the only spot that he really fits in. He's not as bad as a fringe starter. He definitely is a starter. We're going to have him in that average tier. Nick Chubb. I don't care what anyone says. This man is elite. He can carry the Browns on some days and some weeks. Christian McCaffrey. You got to put Christian McCaffrey in elite. You have no choice. Even with the injuries, Christian McCaffrey is too good to put him in a similar category to what Chris Carson deals with. James Conner. This is the guy at the beginning of the year that I may have put in just for depth or fringe starter, but I think he deserves to be in that average category, if anything, the great category. Really revitalized his career in Arizona so far this year. Has been a big part of why that team is as good as they are. Dalvin Cook. This one's tough, but I'm going to put him in elite. Although, for the same reasons I knocked Chris Carson down to average, I may be willing to knock Dalvin Cook down to great, not elite, because of those injury issues. Cook has not had the year I expect him to have this year, but still, when he does get his opportunities, you can tell how great this man is. David Montgomery. I like David Montgomery a ton, but I don't think he's in that potential to be elite category. I'll take great, but not quite elite. Maybe he's right outside of the top 10 running backs in the NFL, but he's not elite. I don't think he has potential. He's a little bit above average in my opinion. So we're going to put him in the great, not elite. Maybe this will change in the future and he have potential to be elite. J.K. Dobbins. This one's tough to gauge because J.K. Dobbins is not playing in the NFL this year due to an injury he sustained. So because of that, we're just going to put him in the average. He was good his rookie year, but we need to see more out of JK before I can move him into these upper tiers. Kenyon Drake at this point in his career is a fringe starter. Kenyon Drake is now just for depth, man. This sucks for Kenyon Drake because we know how impactful he was on fantasy lineups the last couple years. But now he's in Vegas backing up Josh Jacobs, who I don't think is going to be really anywhere high on this tier list. You got to put Kenyon Drake in just for depth. Chase Edmonds. I have not seen much of Chase Edmonds that would lead me to believe that he should be the starter in Arizona. James Conner should be the starter in Arizona. Although I do think Chase Edmonds is better than this just for depth category, so I'm going to put him in the fringe starter. Austin Eckler, great but not elite. Austin Eckler is an amazing receiving back, and he is an amazing runner of the football, but he's not really elite at either like Christian McCaffrey is. Similar threat out the backfield as Christian McCaffrey is when you talk about how he can run people over, how he can make people miss, his speed, his strength, everything being put together as a receiving and rusher, but just not quite on the same level as Christian McCaffrey, and that's coming from a Chargers fan. But great, not elite. That's the perfect spot for Austin Eckler in my opinion. Leonard Fournette. Similar reasons to Austin Eckler. He goes in the great, not elite category. I love what he does as a receiver of the football and what he does as a rusher. Frank Gore, just for depth, shouldn't even really be on here, to be honest. Myles Gaskin. Myles Gaskin has been up and down in his career. I'm going to put him in the fringe starter. He seems to come in and out of games. We just saw Duke Johnson have a big game in a game that Myles Gaskin was playing in. I like all of these guys in the average category over Myles Gaskin as of right this second, so I'm going to put him as a fringe starter. Antonio Gibson. I do think that Gibson has the potential to be elite. He's a big, strong dude with speed that kills and jukes that kill. I really do think that Gibson has potential to be a top 5 running back in the league down the line. Damian Harris, I don't think he's going to be the starter for much longer. I think that Ramondre Stevenson has a lot more potential than Dame Harris has, so we're going to put him in this fringe starter category. Derrick Henry, no question, elite. If you have any questions whether Derrick Henry is elite or not, then please tune out of the video and go and figure out what the hell is going on in your mind. Nahim Hines, and while he is the backup to Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis, this guy is average. He's primarily a receiving back, but we've seen that he can do it both ways. Nahim Hines is the backup for Jonathan Taylor, but I think that in a different place, he possibly could be a starter. So we're going to put him in this fringe starter category. He's a guy that can receive the ball and run the ball as well, like Eckler, like CMC, like Leonard Fournette. Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt may be the only backup in the NFL that I'm going to put in the great, not elite category. We all know what Kareem Hunt could do, and by himself, I think he runs for 1,300 yards and has 1,500 all-purpose yards in the season. But because him and Nick Chubb split, his yardage obviously comes way down. This guy's an absolute monster on his own. Mark Ingram at this point in his career is definitely just for depth. He does put in some good work for New Orleans still, but he's a depth piece nowadays. Josh Jacobs. I want to put Josh Jacobs in the fringe starter category, as much of a Raider hater that I am, but I think I'm going to be fair and I'm going to put him in average. What he's done in the past has kind of proven that he can be an average level running back in the NFL. Right now, the Raiders O-line is just absolutely awful, which is leading to some struggles for that run game. David Johnson, I don't even know what to put David Johnson as. He hasn't done anything in the last couple of years. We'll put him in just for depth for now. Aaron Jones, he's one of these guys. He's kind of the definition of great but not quite elite. Yes, he's on the level of some of the best running backs in the league. Yes, he can have huge games like these elite running backs can have, but he does not really carry the Green Bay Packers by himself if they need him to. They actually may go ahead and go to A.J. Dillon if they need someone to carry them in a game. Alvin Kamara is elite. Do not at me once again. I don't know who this is. Who is this? Someone tell me in the comments who this is. Melvin Gordon. I think Melvin Gordon is a fringe starter, although he's starting to look like a depth piece behind Javonte Williams. I think in the right place, Melvin Gordon probably still is a solid starter for a team. Actually, Melvin, I'm feeling good today. We'll put you in the average category. Raheem Morris, another guy that just cannot stay healthy, but when healthy, I think he's average, and I think he's going to come back and be average again when he is back. Serviceable, a great starter for the 49ers. Joe Mixon. This guy's career has been up and down so far, but I think that he has the potential in the next couple of years to really break out and become elite, especially with how threatening that Bengals passing game is becoming. They're going to start backing off, giving Joe Mixon plenty of room to work down the low. I wouldn't be shocked in 2022 to see a 1,500-yard all-purpose for Joe Mixon. Phillip Lindsay had put in some good work for the Texans early on in the year, but we all know that he is just for depth at this point in his career. James Robinson. I think James Robinson has a little bit more potential than average, but not really potential to be elite, especially with the situation that he's in with Etienne coming back hopefully next year for the Jaguars. So we'll put him in this average category. Rojo, just for depth at this point. Get Rojo out of Tampa, man. They ain't using him at all. Miles Sanders. Oh, man. I think he's a fringe starter. The Eagles cannot commit to starting Miles Sanders, and there's a reason for it. So we're going to put him in the fringe starter category. Devin Singletary, similar to Miles Sanders, just can't quite get some consistency going in Buffalo. I don't think he's average. I don't think he goes somewhere else and puts up numbers. So we're going to put him in the fringe starter spot for now. Deandre Swift, I absolutely love Deandre Swift. I think that he has potential to be one of the best in the league, and he's the brightest spot on the Lions offense right now. Sad, right? That a running back's the brightest spot in your offense. Jonathan Taylor, a couple weeks ago, maybe I would have argued with you to put him in the potential to be elite category, but I think he's established himself as an elite running back in the NFL over the last couple of weeks. In the course of this entire season this year, he's been absolutely dominant. Todd Gurley, miss you, buddy, just for depth. Zeke, this is the most controversial one. Save the best for last, right? Let me know in the comment section where Zeke should be ranked on this depth chart, on this tier list. I'm going to let you guys determine where we put Zeke on the official graphic on my Instagram page, and I'm going to put up later. You guys thinking great, but not elite? You guys thinking average? I know no one's going to say elite, right? FLK, don't you dare. So here it is. Here is the tier list. Mine is Ezekiel Elliott. I want you guys to go ahead and let me know in the comment section where Ezekiel Elliott goes on this list. If you want to see where he ends up based off of your voting, it's going to be up on my Instagram page at Mike on the Mike Sports. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? I had a great time. Thanks for tuning into this video. As always, I appreciate you guys every time you tune into a video. If you made it this far, you obviously had a great time, so please like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It helps me out a ton in beating the algorithm, like I said in the beginning of the video. I love you, and you love me. I'm Mike, and I am on the mic, and this is me saying, till next time.
I gave you fair warning, beware.
Smack him in the end zone.